So as part of, like, since you have opted for like Selenium and manual combo course, so as part of this session, we would be talking about like couple of things, guys. So first, we'll start off with like manual testing, and then we'll move on with core Java and then Selenium. So overall, this course lasts for around like 50 to like 55 days. So each day it will be on 1 hour for each day. So first we will start off with manual testing. So it goes on for around like 10 days. Okay. So we would be learning about the manual testing concept first. It would be around 8 to 10 days. Okay. So I'm putting like 10 buffer days. It will go on for 8 to 10 days. Then we will start off with core Java. Right. Then we'll start off with core Java. So this will go on for like 25 to 30 days. Okay. And then we'll start off with Selenium. So this will be like around 18 to 20 days. So overall our course will go on for around 50 to like 55 days. It might be 60 days also. And again, it depends upon like our question hours, uh, the way we proceed. Okay. So this is all about our course content here. Like uh, by the end of this course, right? So by the end of the course, what are the things you are going to learn means, so you will get, so since you have opted for this course, by the end of the course you will get like exposure on software testing background. Like you will try to understand what exactly is mean by manual testing. So why do we require manual testing? Why do have as a tester, why we need to do manual testing? So that is one thing. And apart from that, you would be learning one of the computer languages, which is like Java, and the one automation tool, which is Selenium. So why do we need a language here means, Selenium is an automation tool which always requires one of the programming language. So Selenium is basically an automation tool. It always requires one of the programming languages in order to automate, in order to do the automation operations. So for that, we have designed our like courses in such a way that we need to cover the core Java concepts as well, right? So that is one thing. So you will get exposure on these three things. And also, so once you finish off with this course, you can start working on the automation script development and execution, right? So since you can start your career as an automation tester, so since as an automation tester, our day-to-day responsibility is to start developing the automation scripts and start executing the automation scripts. And even you can develop a Selenium framework also. You can develop a here, as part of our course we would be learning like Selenium as well. So you would be able to develop a Selenium framework as well. And also you can do two things here. You can start creating your own framework and start developing your applications. That is one thing. And the second point is, so if you enter into in any of the organization, so there will be always for suppose there is already existing framework using in their organization. So all you have to do here is just understand the framework. So since you have like, you will be having like the background on all of these tools like Selenium, core Java, since you would be learning some of the framework concepts already. So it would be easy for you to understand their framework and start working on them, start working on it, and maintain maintenance of it by yourself. So you will get these things by the end of this course. Okay. So, and one more thing. So these are the topics we would be covering, guys. Okay. So as I told you, we'll start off with manual testing first. So if you see here, so these are the concepts we would be learning about the manual testing. So it will go on for around like 10 to 12 days. So let me show it to one of my previous batches. Okay, yeah, this would be better. So here, if you see, like manual testing went on for around 9 days, right? Then I have started off with core Java. It went on for around 28 days, and then we'll start off with Selenium. So we'll learn framework as well as part of Selenium. It went on for 19 days. So overall, it would be like around 50 to 55 days of trainings. Okay. So any questions, guys, so far? Any questions from anyone?
In core Java, what you will teach? Like just the programmings?
Yes. So as part of core Java, so let me show you. Yes. So guys, said as I told you, let me try to reiterate that particular thing. So Selenium is basically an automation tool which always Selenium is an automation tool which always need one of the programming language, right? So which always need a programming language to automate the web application. Even if you see, if you attend an interview, even if you attend an interview after 3 years of experience in software automation testing also, if they ask you like 20 questions, so 10 will be on the programming languages and programming language, and 10 will be on like the automation tool itself. So that would be the importance of core Java. So that is the reason core Java is very important. And as part of core Java, so what would be learning is, initially we would be starting off with like the basics of Java, like types of applications that would be built based on Java, and then we'll start off with features of Java. And on day two, we would be like discussing about how we can set up Java in our systems, how to set the path, and we'll start off with basic hello world program. And then we'll talk about data types. Like there are uh, some concepts like variables, data types, and typecasting. Then we'll talk about operators. So these, from here the actual coding starts, like from operators. Yes, here I would be showing you the programming right from the scratch, right from the scratch. So I will be uh, writing the program in Eclipse. So I will screen share just like this one. I will write one by one line in Eclipse, and I will show you the programs as well. So operators, looping statements, and methods, constructors, and then the OOPS concepts. So this is nothing but the OOPS concepts. There are four concepts of OOPS: inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, and encapsulation. And then we'll discuss about access modifiers and also the exception handling. So by covering these things, so every concept is internally related to like the programming. So we'll be discussing each and every program with respect to every concept, guys. So even if you don't know one line of programming at this certain point of time, so you doesn't have to bother. You would be learning the programming when we actually start the core Java. So that assurance, like I can provide you. So if you have any fear of programming, or if you don't know anything about programming, that is completely fine, because here we would be learning everything right from the scratch. You can see like we would be starting off with the basic hello world program. This is with respect to core Java. So any more questions from anyone?
And in Selenium, which framework are you going to teach?
Yes, in Selenium we would be talking about like the, so here we would be covering like uh, Maven project, and in Selenium we would be covering TestNG, BDD framework. So test engine framework we would be talking about, and we would be using like uh, BDD and test data driven also. So the good thing about this like topics designing is, so I have included like the framework here, so which is really important because so framework is something, a kind of ready-made architecture where we really pitch in and start working on our programming. So even if you once you enter into any real-time project, once you enter into any of the company and if you start working on any of the project, obviously as an automation engineer they would be developing or they would be executing their scripts in certain frameworks. Okay, in certain frameworks, like there are few frameworks in the industry, but if you have exposure on any one of the framework, it is not easy for you to to cope up with another framework. It will not take more than a week. That is what I believe, because more or less the concepts and the logics would be the same, but the way we written it is something different, right? So ultimately the end goal would be the same, but the way we written it is something different. That thing you can learn um, in just a week of time, since you already have exposure on how the framework would be built and how the framework is organized, and the you will be having the exposure on the architecture about the framework, right? So it is not a big deal for you to go on with those things.
And are you going to teach the how to push the code and all these things in the Selenium?
Yeah, that is with respect to Git repository.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I will be showing that part as well. Like um, if we made certain changes in the code locally, then how we can push that particular code to Git repository, and if we want to get the code from the Git repository, so how we would be cloning the code from the Git repository. So there are certain Git commands, right? So there
Mm-hmm.
are certain Git commands we would be using on on a daily basis. So that part also I would be covering.
Okay.
Um, so any more questions from anyone before we start off with like the first topic? Shall I move on? Yeah. Okay. So let me start off uh, with one of the topics today. Yeah. So guys, here, like in any IT industry, like if you go to any IT industry, so if you are working on any of the project, so we will be having like couple of things, guys. Okay, so you might have listened that there would be developers, there would be testers, something like that, correct? So sorry. So there would be developers and there would be testers, and apart from that uh, we would be having like the BAs as well. Okay, so first, since as a tester in some of the companies, our team would be called as a QA team. Okay, our team is called as a QA team. Like QA is nothing but the quality assurance. quality assurance team. So in some companies, we would be referring as a QA/TA team, which is nothing but like quality assurance and test automation. So why we have got two names here means quality assurance and test automation means this team would be the combination of manual testers and the automation testers. Okay, so collectively the team's name might be they refer as like QATA. So if they call as quality assurance team also, it, this team also might be the combination of both like manual testers and the automation testers. But again, that would be like the way the way they refer our team would be the slight different. So in some companies it would be called as QA team, QATA or test team, or separately functional team and automation team. Like that we will be having like the departments, functional team and automation team. So like that they are going to refer us. So now and for the developers they would be referring as like a dev team simply. Okay. Dev team or the development team, something like that. So now, what are the roles and responsibilities of these teams? Means, so for example, if we are working on any project, so let me consider like one of the sites here. Okay. So let me consider this particular site. So arden.ac.uk. So the moment you see the URL here, so the Arden is nothing but the university name. Okay, so Arden is one of the universities. It is one of the renowned universities in United Kingdom, right? So what does this domain name AC stands for? Does anyone have any idea? AC. So basically AC is nothing but it depicts that means this is an academic site. Okay, this is an academic site. Dot UK. How about UK? What does it mean?
Country name.
Sorry.
Country name.
It's a country name. So that means this particular, so this site tells us that, so Arden is nothing but a university. Since it is an academic site, it is an academic site which operates its like functionals in United Kingdom. So that is what it means. So this one basically we call it as a domain name. Okay. So basically we call it as a domain name. So AC stands for academic, UK is nothing but the country name. So you might be seeing some of these sites like .com, so which is nothing but it's a commercial site. Okay, commercial site. So you might have seen like this one also, like this is one of the e-commerce which operates its functionalities in IN stands for our country name, which is India, right? So apart from that, you might have seen some of these URLs like gov.in. It is nothing but a government site, right? Government site which operates in India. So
This conference